I'm Erin Ogden. I'm the managing attorney at Ogden Glazer Schaefer. We are a small but mighty law firm that does a lot of work with intellectual property and business law. We say our target client is those businesses that are in growth mode and recognize their biggest asset isn't stuff that they can put their hands on and shake, but more of those intangibles like trademarks and copyrights and trade secrets and all of those fun things that make us be able to say that we're intellectual property attorneys. I was at a bigger-ish firm in Madison terms. We were about 40 attorneys or whatever, and I enjoyed it. And what I liked about that firm is that they did have a good team mentality, and especially the attorneys I was working with. But the firm had gone through some different changes, and I had gotten in my head that maybe I want to do my own firm, and really it took a lot of time to think about it, and then decided that yeah, we could do it. I also I started the firm. It was just Ogden Glazer at the time with Jeff Glazer, and we said we each made each other offer the other couldn't refuse. His alcohol business stuff was really growing, and he was thinking about joining a firm. I was thinking about leaving a firm, so we're like, oh wait, let's join together. I can help with that. And it just worked really well. So we started, and when we did that, we thought it was just going to be us two, right? We're like, that's all we need. I can do this, you can do that. And we were going to go there I'm like, well, we probably want a legal assistant at some point. We knew it wasn't right away. So when we started, I actually called up one of my prior legal assistants and said, Sherry, it's not today. I can't hire you today. But just so you know, one day you will work for me again. And she's like, okay. Well, so the plan was if she ever wanted to leave the firm she was at, that I would give her the best references to anywhere she applied. But whatever job she got offered, she had to come back to me and see if I could match it. And luckily for me, I could. We had some creative stuff that we did to make it work at first, but so she was our first employee and first person. She even came before the Schaefer of Ogden Glazer Schaefer, and that was such a stressful thing. Because more stressful than starting the firm, because when you start the firm, you always know if no one pays, you're like, sorry, we're eating quesadillas tonight or the next month, but you can't tell that to an employee. And so that was a big step for us. And then Colin, we'd been working with as doing some, he would do overflow work, and it was a really good fit. And so he came over as a partner, and then we were like, okay, that's all we need. We have 3 attorneys, we have Sherry, what more could you want? But we just kind of kept getting more work, and we had to decide, do we want to turn away work, or do we want to bring in additional people? And it's a big decision. A lot of people are like, well, why would you ever turn it away? We're like, well, because it involves more things. You have to start thinking like an administrator. You have to start thinking really like a business owner, not just as an attorney. And that is a turning point. And so we had to make that decision. Is that the turning point we want to do? And is it when we wanted to do it? And we did. And so we decided, no, we are okay growing. We don't ever want to be the 40 attorney. We want to stay small but mighty. But small but mighty doesn't mean no growth. We work with growth companies. Let's be a growth company and start thinking like our clients. Yeah, so like I said, one of the things I liked about being in that bigger firm is you had this community of people. You had peers. If you had questions, you knew who to go to. If you had a project that you couldn't do, you knew someone could do it. And so that was one of my big concerns. Is going in a small firm, I always joke, you needed someone to say, am I being crazy or are they being crazy? And one thing that I had hoped to find here, and I was really glad to do, is that you can still have that team here and you can build that community. And so we now have our small firm kind of team that I know that if I have questions, I have people that I can call. I know that I'm a resource for others. And if I have work that I can't do because it's litigation or while I'm a patent attorney, I don't prosecute patents, but Smith Keen does, and they do it really well. So let's use that small firm community because we know who they are and that they will reciprocate. One thing that we've done and was discussed in some of the different panels this year is we recognize that while we are special as attorneys, we're also not special in that we're a business. And so we do strategic planning every year. We're very transparent with all of our employees because we want to have their buy-in. We want to have their ideas. We're very into diversity and inclusion in not just race, but certainly different mindsets, they've all had backgrounds other than law, right? So what have they learned? How do we get that information and those ideas and incorporate them from everywhere? So our legal assistant previously worked at a chiropractor clinic. All right, what did you learn there? What worked well? What didn't? How can we steal good ideas? And we can only do that if we have her involved in the conversations and helping her build. And then when we have her help build the goals, she knows how the sausage is made. She knows how to do it and why it matters. And it's not just like, and this is how you're doing it. Go do your work.